Hey YouTube. Hey, it's been a few weeks. Outside, obviously, with my dog, and see if you can see him. He's just chomping away over here. Yeah, you're on video, yeah. As usual, he gets photographed a lot. So yeah, I just want to come on and I want to talk about. I had someone ask me. They go, "Can you talk about like life after like the Watchtower, right?" I'm like, yeah, that is actually very good, because a lot of times we spend a lot of time speaking about, the experiences of, being shunned and the experiences within the organization when we were JWs and all that kind of stuff. If you're just tuning in, I am an ex-JW, ex-Jehovah's Witness, third generation, so meaning that my parents and grandparents are both JWs and strong, very active. I call them Uber JWs, that they live and breathe this stuff. So, which is fine. People are allowed to believe what they want to believe. But, anyways, so life after Watchtower. I just gotta give my dog a treat. Okay, sit down. Yay. There you go. Hold on. You guys getting it right here? Okay, here we go. Okay, so after I left my husband and stuff, I decided, well, I'm gonna stay there for a year. So in the town that I was living in, because it was just I recognized it would be too much to just like move, and like I wanted to move. I didn't want to stay in that town anyways, and that had kind of been a thing that in my marriage that we had talked about. Like I'm like, I want more out of life, right? I want to do more. I want to move. So anyways, I knew I was going to move, but obviously there's a lot of things that happen when you go through divorce as to the timing and everything. So I was like, well, I'm going to stay here because I don't want to, be too hasty with making decisions, because, when you leave a religion like that, or you fade away, and you recognize like, okay, now people are giving me grief about, deciding not to go to meetings. And, my parents, they're trying to figure this stuff out. I was too. My grandparents, so anyways, lots of stories there, but going through the divorce, but then all your friends leaving you, and so really figuring out that side of things as to, okay, what's just happened to my life. So anyways, then I stayed. I got really busy. I stayed and that's usually what I do. I throw myself into work. Some people call me workaholic. I think there's worse things to be addicted to, so I'm good with that. So yeah, I definitely have done that. So in doing that, though, I've recognized that I've always thrown myself into work and not really processed certain things that have been going on in my life, certain traumas, and so seeing counselors and stuff that have helped me through a lot of things in my life, whether that be my brother dying, through my my divorce, through leaving the religion, depression, like these things that happen. There's my husband cheating on me, like there's a lot of things like that are called traumas, which I didn't really recognize. But as you work through them, and as you allow yourself to work through them and talk through them, and that's why I really do encourage people to talk through what they're doing or going through, because that's the only way you can really process it well. Okay, so moved quite a few times after. So after I stayed in my town for like a year, and then I was like, okay, and the whole time I've been planning like, okay, where do I want to move, right? I knew I had to go somewhere where there's going to be lots of work for me, this sort of thing. So I did, moved across the country. I'm in Canada. I moved from the west all the way to the east, to Toronto, and I got so homesick. I'm serious, like I was so homesick. It was crazy, because I just lost all my friends. Like I had no friend. like friends that I'd had for the last 20 and forever, my whole life, 20 years and plus. My family, you know, were very distanced. So yeah, I was just, yeah, anyways, trying to remake my life, right? Move across the country. Okay, I'm gonna make a new start. And I got so homesick. Like, I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, and it was probably depression as well. But I was actually sick. And it wasn't just like a sickness, because I felt like energy, and then so it was kind of very weird. And so I found out it was actually homesick. Anyways, so yeah, I moved a lot, which was great, because I love the experience. I love change, but at the same time, each of those changes takes a lot of effort, and a lot of it's exhausting, right? And so through that time, like, I was like trying to figure out like me, and trying to figure out like, okay, what do I like? I'd never really dated before. I was married right out of the religion, right? I mean, sorry, right out of, my dog's distracting me. I was married right out of high school, so I hadn't really dated. And so for me to figure that out, like, as I was in my 30s, so I'm just like, oh my God, like, and then I'd also been told, like, you won't find true love in the world, right? You won't find true friends. Like, I was being told all this stuff as I was, becoming inactive. Plus, when I was a JW, that's what you are told. That's what you learn, right? Sit down. Yeah, I have like more treats in my hand, so he's like so attentive all of a sudden. Rio, you're very distracting. Maybe next time you won't come on. He's so funny. I love dogs. I've always had dogs in my life, except for a short period when I was doing all this moving around. Why don't you just lay down? Yeah, just lay down. Yeah. See, he's very obedient when he knows I've got treats. Anyways, yeah, just chill out, bud. Yeah. So, sorry. So yeah, I moved around. So yeah, dating. So dating. Oh my God, I was like so freaked out of it, because I was like, I don't know, but also exciting. It was very exciting, because I didn't know what I wanted and what I didn't want. I'd only ever had just my husband, right? My high school sweetheart. So yeah, I really got to learn a lot about myself. And I do tell people that. I said, you know what? After divorce, whether you've been in the religion or not, after divorce, it's really important to figure out you. Like, and a lot of times that is with dating, and there's nothing wrong with that. We as Jehovah's Witness, ex-Jehovah's Witness, we were brought up thinking that the only way in life was, sorry for background noise, there's a plane going overhead. I thought the forest would be like super quiet, but there's all these birds, and now this plane, and my dog. Anyways, bear with me. So yeah, so there was like all this type of traditional ideologies, I guess, these traditional ways of life put on you as a Jehovah's Witness, that you get married, you may or may not have kids, it depends what generation you were. My generation, were just like, no, don't have children until, the new system of things, and, then they'll be perfect, and then you don't have to take them through Armageddon, and all this bullshit. So I don't have regret around that, because, like, I didn't have children, but I don't have regret. It's just like, it is what it is. Like, I enjoyed my life. If I want to have kids, I'd probably adopt, quite frankly. But I don't know. I've had a really enjoyable life for the most part, other than some of these things that have gone on. But at the same time, if everything was always perfect in your life, you wouldn't recognize all those great moments, right? Because if everything was great, you wouldn't have those ebbs and flows, or those peaks and valleys to actually know which were the peaks. If that makes sense. So yeah, dating, I wouldn't say a lot by worldly standards, but I dated for 3 years, and I really wanted to keep it so that it was no commitment. Like I wasn't ready to commit to anybody, and I totally say that to people too that are coming out of a divorce and coming out of the religion, that don't feel like you need to jump into something quickly. If you're dating someone and you're just like, hold on, like there's so much going on in your life, like give yourself time to breathe, because you need to. And like I said before, like be kind to you. Like this is a time when you're leaving the religion, and a lot of things are happening. Like whether it's your friends shunning you, your family shunning you, if you're going through any kind of divorce stuff, whatever. Like there's a lot of things happening that to think, and you feel alone. Like I remember times where I'm just like, I'm the loneliest person in the world. No one's gonna love me, because that's what I've been told. My friend said I can never really have a marriage again, because I've been because nobody knew the circumstance, like nobody knew that he cheated on me at the time. So they said, well, it's not scriptural divorce, so you can't really get married again and all this kind of crap. So anyways, whatever, fast forward, dating, and then I decided that, yeah, I really want to get serious about finding somebody, because I really loved being married. I loved, sharing my life with someone. And so actually my cousin, and she had left the religion too, and around the same time actually, so I just heard something, probably squirrels, those darn squirrels. So my cousin actually inspired me to look online, because she was dating like eHarmony and stuff, and she found the love of her life. Like it was amazing. Now they're married, they have a child and all this, and so I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, and this is like 10 years ago, so it's still somewhat taboo, dating online. And so, or no, yeah, 8 years ago I should say, because that's when I started. Anyways, so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna check this out. I'm not gonna really tell anybody because it's taboo, and I don't really want certain people to know that I'm doing this. So yeah, I started looking online, and I went on awesome dates. But my criteria, I made sure that my online dating, one thing that I remember putting was like, no, not religious, because I didn't want to get into a relationship that they were either some kind of Christian denomination or anything. I knew I wouldn't find a JW, because I don't think they date online. Maybe they have their own sites now, but anyways, I knew I didn't want to date any Christian. I didn't want to date anyone that was religious, because I didn't want to have these type of ongoing debates about, and I already felt like where I was heading was, atheist. I was agnostic, but then I was like, yeah, as I started like looking at, evolution and really studying like Neil deGrasse, he's a huge influence. Richard Dawkins, those type of real thought leaders and physicists and scientists, like, anyways, and psychologists, like these are the people that I would read their books and watch their videos and this kind of thing. And so I've really been influenced by that as part of it. But just I read a lot. I love reading. Rio, you're so annoying right now. Like he's like staring at me, but he's blind, so it's like just panting and it's so annoying. Sorry if this is like a panting. Oh, if that's all you hear. I guess I'll find out when I edit. Okay, so yeah, with the whole online dating, and my profile was just like, I want to make sure, like, I don't want to be attracting anybody religious, because I just don't want to even go there. It's too much effort to really debate, and that's not something I want to debate in a relationship unless we're on the same page, right? And we talk about the same things. Anyways, and then I got really like clear on what I wanted in a partner, like, and based on what I had before, but what I wanted. They can't be just separated. They had to be divorced. Like, I had dated enough to know, like, okay, there's certain things, like, I just want to make sure that there's no strings attached to, his family, his exes, blah blah blah. Anyways, it was awesome. I'd met a lot of awesome people, and there was a lot that were quite, but it was hard because I every time I'd go on a date, I always felt bad, like, because if I had to let them down, and here I'd have guys saying, like, I'm gonna move here and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, no, don't. I'm not saying that, but I'm like, so dating was not easy, and I don't know if people that come from the world find it easier because they've been dating ever since high school, or but I never grew up that way, so letting people down just broke my heart almost every time. Anyways, but I stayed true to what I was really looking for. I never settled, because no matter what, I was like, I'm not gonna settle for a relationship just because I'm lonely. And anyways, so yeah, I did find the love of my life online, Match.com, and we hit it off like crazy, and we have been together for 8 years now, and it's truly a beautiful thing to be synced with somebody that believes the same as you, and is a true intellect. Like, we talk about so many things, and we both read a lot, and he's a musician, an artist. Like, he feeds my mind in so many ways, and he says the same about me. So I am truly feeling blessed that I have found that love, because I was married for 17 years before, if you've been following me. So I didn't know that there could be better. I thought I had a great life. Like, I thought I did, until, all of that happened. Found out he was cheating on me and blah, blah, blah. But I am truly happy. But I had to open myself up for that to be truly happy. So yeah, especially because after leaving the religion and having been given those thoughts, that the panting, sorry, given those thoughts that no one will love you like people that are Jehovah's Witnesses, and these are your real friends. You won't find real friends outside in the world, and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's so not true, and I'm so glad that I was able to uncover that and to really find what, and stop it. Just stop. So annoying. Sorry, everyone. Here, you can have your last treat. Look at, yeah, take it nicely. Look at, he's so intense. Like, it's gonna be gone in like 2 seconds. Sorry. For the love of dogs, right? But yeah, so to grow up thinking that this, and to be married for that long, and this is it, we're waiting for Armageddon, like, my life is going to be in paradise, like, everything is all about the future, we never live in the moment. Like, those are the things that I've really learned, is living in the moment, being in the now. And I got a lot of these this way of thinking from, like, books like from Eckhart Tolle. And I don't know if he's Christian or how he is, but his whole movement, I think, is really important too, because it really teaches people to got bugs now. Teaches people to be in the moment, moment with the bugs. No, but to live in the moment, to be present, and to know how to tap into that being, to be present in your mind. I do a lot of meditation as well, and those are things that I never did before. Meditation as a Jehovah's Witness was like reading the Bible and meditating on the scriptures. So, sorry, this video is going to hell in a handbag. anyways, the meditating as a Jehovah's Witness was all about like meditating with scriptures. So you read scriptures and then you think about them, but you never meditate in a sense. And they really discourage people from meditating in the sense of like, you know, the whole yoga and all this kind of stuff. I do yoga. I meditate in the traditional sense, I suppose, of meditation, of like clearing your mind. There is absolutely no better way to start a day, in my opinion. And since I've been doing that, I have a lot more happiness and peace. Like, I didn't have peace in my life for the last 10 years. It's really in the last year, I would say, that I finally have found how to have peace and joy and happiness in my life. And that has not been easy, but God, so many sounds. This is why I don't live right in the forest. Okay, so moving on. I found love and happiness and peace. I truly have. And it's always a work in progress because the world around us is very busy with the amount of negative media. So keeping a practice of working on positivity in our minds is really important, and really important to me. Okay, moving on. So my life after the Watchtower. So with family around me, I have sisters. I have 2 sisters. I'm in regular contact with them. They're not part of the religion, so photobomber. Oh my God, so funny. I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm gonna edit all this out or not, but we'll see. Yeah, so my family, I've got my sisters, and we're in regular contact. We don't live in the same town or anything. I have family that I've begun to know that they never were JW, so I never really grew up with them, but I'm getting to know them, and that has been really awesome, actually, because I'm learning pieces about myself that I was like, wow, like I had no idea that's where that came from, right? I don't really see my parents much at all, if at all. The last time I saw them was my grandpa's funeral a couple years ago. They only reach out to me if somebody's dying, or, you know, dead, or they're sick or something. So, and they're uber JWs, and it is what it is. Like I've learned to just deal with it. You know, it is the way it is. I never really had a strong relationship with my parents before, anyways. There was just always kind of a bit of a disconnect as to them being way more like uber JWs, even when I was a JW, right? Yeah, like they're special pioneers and what have you. So my grandma, she disassociated herself from me last year. So if you saw my previous videos, I reached out to her a couple weeks ago because it's on the anniversary of my grandpa's death, and I wanted to let her know I'm thinking of her, I love her. And so I texted her, because we used to text. So I texted her. I was going to send her flowers, but then I was like, that feels a little too much like if she rejects me again. Like, it opens yourself up. Sorry, bugs. It opens yourself up. So you have to make sure you protect yourself. I know I've had to learn that, because I've always been quite open in being very loving, and giving, I guess, of myself to people and my emotions. So anyways, and trusting and what have you, and expectations, I suppose, really managing that. So yeah, anyway, so I reached out to my grandma, and all she basically said was, go to the convention, and these are the dates, and we want you to come back and make sure you know, anyways. So that's it. And that's really more than I expected, because I didn't really know that she would even respond at all. So I was like, okay, nothing's changed. So that's how it is. Life after the Watchtower with friends. So as I spoke before about my friends, like, I have lost all my friends, all of them have, you know, drifted away, as they do when you leave the religion. You're no longer going to meetings and all this, because you are bad association. That's how you're viewed, because me being a baptized... You can sit down. Sit down. Thank you. He's so good. Yay, this is what he's doing. He just stares at me. Or stares at something. So yeah, so leaving that, being told that you won't find real friends and all this kind of stuff. And so after I left, you know, all my friends basically vacated out of my life, which was a great lesson. You know, I look at these type of things and life experiences as lessons, because that was a great lesson to me about conditional love, you know, and I didn't really see that before. So I'm really glad that I did get to see that, because that opened up, as hard as it was, that opened the way to new friendships and the life that I have now. So if all these things that happened previously didn't happen, the likelihood would be that I'd probably be still a JW, because nothing would have shaken me out of it, you know? Who knows? You never know. So, life after the religion, at first I was actually I felt bitter, I felt angry. Of course, I'm going through divorce. I'm missing my friends, my families, give me, you know, grief, all this stuff. So I went from very like dark, you know, it just felt like really, really hard. And it was. But moving forward, like, I was like, I never felt hatred. I never felt malice. I never felt like, you know, any of these, like, you're all going to hell, or anything like some of these comments that people put on my page, like, or my channel here. I always felt like, you know, people deserve respect, and I do too. Like, we all deserve respect, reciprocal. And I always thought, well, I want to just keep reading. You know, I'm reading stuff, swatting bugs. I got to get out of here. I got to wrap this up. So I'm always reading, because I always felt that now that I have the opportunity to read anything and have my mind open and learn things that I've never been allowed to learn, take that opportunity. Like, I love it. I love it, because that's how we truly are able to figure out, you know, this way or that. Like, how are you supposed to know if you've only been taught Christianity, or if you've only been taught whatever, one way in life? Then how are you really supposed to know what the other is? And so that was important to me, to say, okay, I've gone down this road, but what about all these other religions, and what about all these other thoughts, and what all these other you name it, philosophies, and etc., etc. So there's a lot of things that were just like really important for me to understand, and that's through reading and through taking in knowledge of what's out there, right? Taking knowledge, period. Having that free will and really experiencing that free will, it was amazing. So yeah, I don't have hate, I don't have malice, and that's one thing that kind of bothers me with some, you know, I see some Facebook groups and even online here, like on YouTube, a lot of people that are, oh, you're not a Christian anymore, so yeah, you're obviously not awake and you're going to hell, and stuff like this. And I'm like, wow, really? You know, I try not to even engage in stuff like that, because it's futile. It's so ridiculous. Like, I believe in being tolerant of other people, and that is reciprocal. So just because you have, you know, a religion and you're believing one way, doesn't mean you're right. You know, if you believe in God, there's no proof that he exists. You can say it's in creation. Well, evolution has a whole lot more science behind it. So, but I'm not saying these things to debate anybody. I don't want to open any of that up to discussion here, because y'all can do your own research, and there's a ton of knowledge out there that anyone can take in. So, and I never say that I'm right and I have the only way, because I think we always should be open to the possibility that we don't have all the answers, because we don't. Nobody does. And nobody can know everything. So, you know, this righteous indignation that some religions are the only way, such as Jehovah's Witnesses, but there's many of them out there that are the same, have the same righteous indignation that we as in ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, we had as Jehovah's Witnesses when we were practicing, right? So I just think it's really important to remember, as an ex-JW, what we're angry about. If we're angry, you know, is it angry we want all the people to die, the Jehovah's Witnesses to die? No, we don't. We don't want people to die. I don't. But, you know, I've read some people get that angry that kill them all. Excuse me, I was one. So if they killed them all, like, that's the most ridiculous thing. Is that genocide? Like, it's horrible. That's murder. I don't think there's a place for that. I don't think we should even be encouraging that type of discussion. So any of you admins on your Facebook groups and even on your own YouTube channels, shut some of that down, because it's really, that breeds more negative, and that breeds more of this attitude that JWs are bad. The people are not bad people. They are not bad people. The organization is what needs to change. There's a lot of policies in that organization that absolutely need to change. That is what needs to change. That is what's bad, okay? The people are not bad. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up here. You know, I've talked a lot of, how long am I at? Oh yeah, 30 minutes now. Thanks for sticking with me here. And I love to hear your comments. You know, how's life been after leaving the Watchtower, leaving the religion and such? And how do you move forward in a positive way? You know, have you taken on new type of routines that help you, you know, get through the day? You know, dealing with depression. A lot of these topics are difficult to talk about, but the more we share them, the more we can learn from each other. And because we all have a unique experience as being a Jehovah's Witness and leaving it, even more importantly, that experience is quite unique. There's not a lot of us out there in the world in comparison to the amount of population in the world. So anyways, yeah, like, also my friends too, I should say now, I have a beautiful group of friends that are just like so strong, and actually I'd never actually experienced these type of friendships before that are, yeah, I am still blown away by that, because, you know, we grew up in a way that you're told that friends in the world are with Satan and all this kind of stuff, right? And how friends in the world won't love you because they're not part of Jehovah, and da-da-da. So all these type of thoughts, these thought processes that you go through, and how worldly people are bad, and it's just, these are the type of lies that come from the organization. And so I don't blame my parents, and I don't, thinking, because they haven't experienced the other. So anyways, not to get into a debate about both sides of those things, but I can truly say, like, I am so blessed and so happy that the friends that I have in my life now are just true friends, and they have unconditional love towards me and me towards them. Like, anyways, it's beautiful. What else was I gonna tell you? I totally lost my thought. As my dog is like chewing down trees and as you probably hear. Okay, on that note, I think I'm gonna leave off, and thanks for listening, and thanks for your likes and your comments, and thanks for sticking around. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. And oh yes, Rio happened to get in the picture at the same time. What do you? Oh, he's got his nose. He's smelling something. All right. Hopefully it's not a bear. Okay. Have a fantastic day, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.